Hi, my name is Kris Osler, and I am the Foods 1 and Foods 2 teacher this semester at Cape and Mount Carmel. Welcome to Back to School Night, and thank you so much for sharing your children with me and for taking an interest in what they're learning in class. The two classes I teach will be overviewed here this evening, starting with Foods 1. We go through several units in Foods 1, including kitchen safety and sanitation, how to stay safe in the kitchen, and how to keep others safe with your cooking. Then we'll go into recipe skills, where we learn just the basics of measuring correctly and using the proper vocab terms and how to do those skills that are listed in recipes. We'll go into nutrition then. And they'll learn the 6 basic nutrients that everyone needs every day and why our body needs those, the functions that those nutrients perform. We'll move into baking after that, in which we learn all sorts of things about baking, 4 different mixing methods for various recipes. Your student will demonstrate a particular mixing method for their classmates, so they'll be doing some teaching during that lesson. The family dining and etiquette unit is after that, and in there we learn about the importance of family meals together and then using proper manners while eating. We'll end up the year with a fun unit on candy right in time for Christmas. The goals of Foods 1 are learning the basics of food prep and cooperating with their classmates in labs, working together as a group for a project and goal, and then developing confidence in their own abilities. Every student will have different jobs in the lab each time so that they learn they're capable of doing anything in the kitchen. In Foods 2, our curriculum starts with a review of the recipe skills. For some kids, it's been 2 years since they had Foods 1. So we'll review those, and then we'll add to that the skill of working with yeast and making fresh breads. And then we'll also cover the basics of microwave cooking. We'll move from there into meal planning and budgeting, where they will be required to plan a meal based on a budget for their group. And then we will take a field trip to Dillon's, and they will do the shopping for that meal and see if they can bring it in within that budget. So please be watching for permission slips for that project. We'll follow that up with a meats and grilling unit, in which we'll do some outdoor grilling. We'll make hamburgers and we'll make steaks. And then we will move into regional cooking, where we study various regions of the world and of our country, and we learn why the foods that are popular within those regions became that way. We'll also do an overview of nutrition, again, a little review, but we'll add to that eating disorders and looking at the causes and preventions of eating disorders, as this is one of the main issues that can come up their freshman year in college. I like to prepare them before they head off to college to be aware of the signs and to be able to help themselves and possibly someone else who might be dealing with those sorts of feelings. We'll end up the year with a really fun project of Crusader Cook-Off, in which each group within the class competes with the other groups in their class to present the best project or product to judges. And we have some teachers who graciously give their time to come and judge the cook-off. And it's always a lot of fun for the students. So their goals in Foods 2 are increasing their cooking skills and developing their knowledge for independent living. The goal is always to have them feel confident to be able to prepare meals for themselves. So some things that you can do to help prepare your student and keep them working through the class. First of all, if you're a Foods 2 parent, remind them to check classroom quite often, because we will be moving sometimes from the Fax House, where we normally meet, into room 201, so that the Foods 1 classes who normally meet in 201 can do a lab out in the Fax House. So they just need to check on classroom. I will always have an announcement there the day before saying you'll meet in room 201 tomorrow. So just help them as a reminder to check that. And then finally, encourage your student to cook at home. Cook with them. It's great family bonding time. Sometimes those teens are tough to bond with, but it's amazing what happens when you're standing next to them in a kitchen cooking. So encourage them to cook with you. Encourage them to take responsibility to cook a family meal on their own, especially those Foods 2 kids. You'll be amazed at what they're capable of. So I thank you so much for joining me, and thank you again for sharing your student with me.